You're never going to guess what country I'm in. All right, I'll give you a couple of clues. I'm definitely in Europe, right? Now, this country has about 500 types of fresh cheese, over 1,000 styles of wine. You're getting warm, right? The colors of the flag are red, white, and green. It has over 300 types of really fresh, very good pasta. If you haven't figured it out by now, I might as well tell you. I'm in Italy, baby! Woo-hoo-hoo! Italy is a country of 20 very different regions. Each has its own foods and its own wines. I'll be visiting Tuscany, Italy's rustic heartland, and the rich and creamy farmlands of Emilia-Romagna. Starting off my gastronomic adventure here in Florence, Tuscany. The heart and soul of Italian food, passion wine, and really bad roads. Yeah! The grand architecture of Florence is in contrast to its simple culinary tradition. Cooking here is rooted in the land and has earned Tuscans the nickname Mangia Fagioli, or bean eaters, thanks to their love of this humble vegetable. Florentine food reflects Tuscany's peasant-based culture. Here, bread is the staple, not pasta. I reckon the best way to enjoy Italian bread is like this, with tomatoes, olive oil, and fresh mozzarella cheese. I guess it's Italy's answer to fast food, and it's known throughout the world as pizza. Ladies, for pizza. Pizza is very different in Italy from the ones you taste everywhere else. It's thin and crispy and always has very simple toppings. It's one of Italy's most popular exports. A close second is Italian gelato. Where are we going?
To a best gelateria in Florence. Come with me, come with me.
If a cute Italian girl wants to take you someplace, I guess you've got to go, right? This place is packed. Italian gelato is the smoothest ice cream in the world. It's made with milk, not cream, so it's lower in fat than its American-style cousin. Gelateria owner Piero Vivoli inherited the secret of how to make good ice cream from his father, and he sees gelato making as an art. What are you gonna have?
I think I'm gonna have chocolate and marroni.
Marroni, cioè,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the persimmon, Diospiro. Diospiro,
Okay.
which is basically persimmon. Diospiro, I can't get that one right.
With pear and caramel.
With pear and caramel, yeah, so yeah, you can have that.
Vorrebbe il diosporo con la pera al caramello.
Ci sono dei gusti che vanno molto meglio, per esempio il mirtillo con lo yogurt.
I can't have it? What's the matter?
Sincerely, he's saying that they're not really matching together.
Mr. Vivoli is a mad scientist when it comes to flavors. He doesn't believe in just one ice cream. He believes in ice creams together create a whole different experience. He's not going to let me have what I ordered because obviously I ordered the wrong thing. So what should I have? So what is that? That's a blueberry?
That's a blueberry.
And what is it? On yogurt?
Yes.
Wow. That looks incredible. It's really fresh, too. Look at that. It's nice. Gorgeous. Mille, grazie mille. Right. That looks beautiful. It's going in. You ready? Oh, my God. Mr. Vivoli, that's incredible. It's heaven. How do you say heaven?
Paradiso.
Paradiso. That's magnifico. Florence is also famous for another snack, which is something of an acquired taste. Because Tuscan food is basically peasant food elevated, the Florentines are geniuses about creating masterpieces out of basically every piece of the animal. Tripe itself is the inner lining of a cow's stomach, and it sounds sort of medieval, but if you love it, you love it. And here in Florence, they actually use it as street food. They'll take tripe itself and braise it with aromatic vegetables and herbs, and they'll cook it until it basically falls apart. And they'll chop it up and make a sandwich out of it. And this guy's putting a little bit of salt, and then he tops it off a little pepper. Right? And then they put this, salsa verde, which is basically parsley, anchovies, capers, and a little bit of garlic and olive oil kind of blended together. You can only get this in Florence. It's nice, only in Florence. Va bene. Delicious. This is Fabio. He is the owner of the most famous restaurant in all of Florence, Cibreo, and he's going to take me through the market, and we're going to hunt for some. What are we going to hunt for today?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. We're going mushroom
beans.
hunting. Mushrooms and beans, baby. We're going to go hunt in the market. Let's go.
Well.
Fabio only decides what his menu of the day will be after he has checked out the best ingredients at the market across the street. As a result, his restaurant has some of the freshest food around and has become something of a Florentine institution. Ah, look at this. Zucchini flowers. Amazing, huh? Ah, you stuff these, right?
Yeah, di bru.
They're great.
The meat, the barbs, and cheese.
Today, he is looking for one of Italy's most prized culinary treasures, the porcini mushroom. This is your porcini spot?
Yes, it's incredible.
Look at that. It's amazing. Wow. So what's the season for porcinis?
June, July, August sometimes, September, October. But this time,
So
this year is perfect. In November, right?
It's been a good porcini year, huh? All right,
And
so
this
what is this called?
is a
What is-
nipitella.
Nipitella?
It's necessary for porcini.
I've never seen this before.
Huh?
Wow.
Cecchina li
amazing.
piglio tutti questi, eh?
Amazing. Let's go. Do you
Vai.
get this on credit? You don't have to pay for this? Porcini
al cartoccio.
cartoccio. What Fabio's telling me is that he's making baked porcini mushrooms and beans.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the olive oil. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so green.
He's a young.
Right, right.
He's born 5 days ago.
This
huh?
was pressed 5 days ago?
Yes.
My God. That's like, you smell like the Tuscan
Yes.
countryside. That's really beautiful.
And for start with the beans, huh?
Okay, so what are we going to
I put inside the little parts of tomato
Okay.
and the rosemary.
The rosemary?
And sage.
Okay, so it's
And-
like in this this delicious ball of olive oil here. And a couple pieces of garlic.
Yes.
Right? Get a couple of shakes in.
And
All right.
water.
And a little bit of water. That's it. Very
And-
simple. Cover them up. And how long,
Yes.
how long do they take?
2 hours.
All right, 2 hours.
2 hours,
Okay,
yes.
so that's definitely the first thing
Yes.
you want to do is get the beans on. Okay, so what do we do with the porcini? Fabio then removes the caps from the porcini stems. If you want to substitute like another mushroom for this,
No,
No?
only porcini.
only porcini. Don't
Please.
even think about it.
Please.
For Fabio's sake,
Yes.
don't even think about it.
Huh?
He then lightly brushes them with water to get rid of any excess dirt. You don't want to dunk it in water, right?
No.
No, because a mushroom is basically a sponge,
Yes.
right? So if you stick it in the water, it's going to soak up a lot of water, and it's going to dilute the natural flavor. So you just want to sort of brush it off, get sort of the excess dirt off. So what are you going to do with the garlic? He's chopping the garlic up in small pieces.
I prefer 4 pieces. Huh? If you want 2, no
Okay.
problem. Huh?
Okay.
I love garlic.
I love garlic too, yeah. So, so you're just going to stick the garlic
Yes,
into
inside,
the,
huh?
press it into the porcini cap. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. Yes, and now nipitella.
And the nipitella. So let's talk about this herb for a second. Now this is now nipitella. It's only in Tuscany, right?
Yes, I
Alright.
think so.
Now this is I've really never had this before. It's it looks like fresh oregano if you want to hold up a fresh leaf of it, but it's not.
No,
Sort of like a mix between fresh spearmint, right,
Yes.
and oregano. If you had a little bit of fresh oregano and a little bit of fresh mint,
Yes.
chopped it up equal parts and put it on top, it'd be the
together,
same.
huh?
Together,
Together,
not
huh?
separate. Together. Then plenty of
Really
salt,
amazing.
pepper, and olive oil is added. For me, this dish right here epitomizes Tuscan cuisine because it's all about the most impeccable ingredients you can ever find. Right?
Yes,
Porcini
right.
mushrooms, nipitella, really 5-day-old olive oil,
Garlic.
and garlic, right? And a dish with very little manipulation. It's all about the natural ingredients. It's gorgeous.
The mushrooms are then cooked bain-marie, which means baking them in a shallow bath of water for 20 minutes at 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
The wine is good, huh?
Delicious.
I love it.
Okay, all right, so porcini mushrooms are done?
Yeah.
Hot, right?
Attention.
Attention.
I love These are my mushrooms.
Okay. Look at that. It's amazing. Wow.
It's good.
Yeah, beautiful. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Open these up. Stunning. Very simplistic, very nice, very natural. Gorgeous.
The fingers is necessary, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
For,
absolutely.
for the
yeah.
touch. Huh?
Yeah. God's tools right here. The beans.
Yeah. And now the bread.
And finally, in true Tuscan style, a little bit of bread is added.
Is for me or for you, these mushrooms?
A little sage for garnish.
I love it.
Yeah. I always do the same thing when I garnish my plates. I always use the ingredients that I cooked with. So if you're cooking something with sage, always garnish it with sage. Yeah?
It's beautiful, huh? I love olive oil.
Fabio, that is absolutely fabulous. Dynamite. Very nice, very nice.
Well, I forgot.
Grazie, grazie.
No, I make for you.
Yeah.
Huh? I am mommy today. You remember?
Don't baby me.
Yes, some piece of bread.
Oh, grazie.
Huh? It's good. It's good.
That is spectacular. Yeah, right, with a fork on my eye. That is spectacular. I'm picking up train tickets here in Florence to head to a small village in the Tuscan countryside called Maradi. I'm taking this really old steam engine, and every year, tens of thousands of Italians head to the hills to celebrate one thing: chestnuts.
North of Florence in the Tuscan hills is Maradi, the tiny town with a big passion. Sweet chestnuts are a basic foodstuff in the mountain regions of Tuscany. And throughout history, they've often saved the local population from hunger, even starvation. But today, they're more of an after-dinner treat.
If you're just as crazy about chestnuts as I am, the festival here in Maradi, without a doubt, is the best chestnut festival in all of Italy. It happens every Sunday in October, and what they do here with chestnuts is unbelievable. There's chestnut jam and chestnut honey and chestnut pastries and even chestnut bread. And then there's also the old reliable, which is just simply roasted chestnuts. They take the chestnuts, they put them over an open flame, and they roast them until the skins start to char and the meat is really soft. And it kind of smells like peanut butter. It also kind of reminds me of a Bing Crosby song. Va bene.
A popular meat to eat with chestnuts is porchetta, which is basically roasted pork with herbs.
Oh, porchetto. Porchetto. Bene, bene. Oh. On a porchetto, my favorite part is the skin. It's very crunchy. Well, I made it out of the Chestnut Festival alive, but the Chestnut Festival still continues here in the beautiful home of EMILIA-ROMAGNA. And what we're going to make today is a chestnut polenta made out of chestnut flour. And we're going to serve it with pancetta, beautiful pancetta, which she has made here on her farm. And we're also some really, really fresh ricotta cheese that she's made also. And some chestnut flour. And this is what we're going to make.
Polenta is a cornmeal porridge, which is a staple of northern Italy.
All right, so what we're going to do now is just pour the chestnut flour all at one time into lightly salted water. The smell is unbelievable. All right, so now, watch this, is pretty cool. I'll stir it all in at one time, but she'll actually make a little hole with her stick, right? This is kind of neat, right? And the water will boil over the top. And after the water comes to a boil, you just leave the flour in the water to cook for an hour. That's it.
While the polenta is cooking, we chop the pancetta, which is basically unsmoked bacon.
Beautiful pancetta pieces. And the smell is just absolutely incredible. I mean, the way this, like, you There's something about the smell of frying pork, be it bacon or whatever, the way it creeps through a house first thing in the morning. Absolutely incredible. Quantum?
While the pancetta is frying, add a few teaspoons of balsamic vinegar and reduce it to kind of a sweet syrup.
Look at the color on these things. They're absolutely beautiful. They're like little pancetta gummy bears, huh?
After about an hour, the polenta is ready to be beaten.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this big wooden paddle and we're going to whack it and smash it around until it starts to cream out into a smooth polenta, all right? And we're just going to whip it. I just want to cream this out in the pot. I don't know who's got bigger muscles, me or Emilia. She's like...
Match.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm going to whip this out. This is nice and creamy. So it goes onto the board now, right? All right. Almost smells like chocolate, you know?
Entriamo in azione con l'acqua fredda?
Emilia now shapes the polenta with cold water.
Oh, it looks beautiful. How long do you let this sit for? Mezz'ora, un'ora?
Mezz'ora.
Mezz'ora, a half an hour. You let this sit for about half an hour to start to harden up. But it'll still have that creamy taste to it. Beautiful. Emilia,
Sì, Taylor.
the polenta is cooled down. And it's set up. It's really firm now.
Esatto.
All right, so show us how you would plate one here at your restaurant.
Tagliamo?
Right in the middle. All right, just give us one big, beautiful slice. Now that is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Chestnut polenta, it's pure Tuscany. Bravissima, bravissima. Prego, that's absolutely stunning. All right, so we're gonna put our first slice down the plate like that. That looks absolutely beautiful. You can smell like the smoky, sweet chestnuts. It's really nice. All right, and then what's next? The
pancetta.
Pancetta? Okay. All right, so we're gonna put our beautiful little gummy bears, right? Caramelized with balsamic vinegar. Those are absolutely stunning. All right, so with little crunchy bits, with some salty flavor to them. Okay, and then
Ricotta.
ricotta. Okay, these are really cool. All right, a little tap like that, and you have this beautiful little cheese. All right, and that's gonna go right there in the corner.
Erbette.
And fresh herbs.
Finocchio.
Finocchio fennel.
Sì.
All right. Finocchio.
Pimpinella.
Okay, pimpinella. Oh, that's beautiful.
Pimpinella.
Fresh pimpinella. Just a really fresh flavor to it. And then a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Green
okay,
olive oil.
Stop. E pepe.
And then a little bit of fresh pepper.
Pepe dappertutto.
Beautiful,
Sì.
beautiful.
Beautiful. Taylor, buon appetito.
Emilia, grazie, grazie. Now,
A te.
this is absolutely beautiful. So we got a little bit of chestnut polenta, all right, a little bit of ricotta cheese. You have to eat it all at one time so everything sort of complements each other. It's like a big marriage of flavors. That is phenomenal. Wow. Oh,
Bene.
you are a beautiful lady, huh? Bene faccia, beautiful lady. We just left Maradi, and we're trying to find this little town called Montalcino. It's got some of the best wine of all in Tuscany. I know it's off to the left here, right?
It's on the right, I know.
It's on the left.
Believe me, I'm Italian, I know.
All right,
it's on
just
the
go
right.
ahead, go ahead.
The 3-hour drive through Tuscany will eventually take us to the town of Montalcino. The area around Montalcino produces one of the world's most sought-after red wines, Brunello. This is thanks to the region's unique climate of long, hot summers and mild winters, which creates the perfect soil for harvesting grapes.
Although Tuscany may put up a front of being rustic, rural, and peasant-like, it's not always the case. Here in Montalcino, over the last 30 years, this area has made an absolute fortune off Brunello wine. And Brunello wine being one of Italy's most famous, it has turned sleepy little Montalcino into Millionaire's Row. God, look at this place. I want to live here.
Today, the tiny hill town of Montalcino is teeming with cafes and bars, all offering Brunello wines from the different estates in the area.
Italians rarely drink wine by itself. They always have it with food, and it always seems like they're eating something. So we're going to enjoy our Brunello wine with some crostini and my buddy Luca, who lives here, and he's going to walk us through crostini and tell us exactly what it is.
Yeah,
So what
crostini are just little pieces of toast bread with something on it, like one with pâté d'olive.
Olive paste, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And chicken liver.
And the chicken liver is classic,
Yeah,
right?
the classic one.
Okay.
Then truffle.
Truffles, I love truffles.
And mushrooms.
Wild mushrooms, great.
And the one with tomato. You can put on it what you want.
And what time of the day would you normally have something like this?
At 5 p.m. about.
So like maybe before meals, or like
Yeah.
an appetizer or an hors
Yeah,
d'oeuvre
sure.
for a dinner party. This looks fabulous. I mean, we got all these great little crostinis and a nice big glass of Bordeaux wine, and we're gonna try some of this stuff.
Unlike Italy's most popular wine, Chianti, which is made out of a blend of different grapes, Brunello is created from only one.
Brunello wine was created in the late 1880s by a very young, forward-thinking winemaker named Ferruccio Biondisante. At the time, Tuscan winemaking was just sort of a crude blend of grapes made to be drunk young. Ferruccio wanted to create a wine for the ages, a wine you could actually store in a cellar. So he took one Sangiovanese grape and decided to make a really heady, beautiful red wine out of it. And still today, there are bottles up in the estate here in Biondisante that are over 100 years old.
The estate of Biondisante sits just outside Montalcino, and its owners are amongst the wealthiest winemakers in Europe. In fact, some of their vintages are so highly prized that they're seen as collector's items. I'm lucky enough to be here with the grandson of Ferruccio Biondisante, Franco Biondisante, and he still lives on the winery and he still makes some amazing vintages. But now 100 years later, this man is the caretaker of some of the finest and rarest Brunello wines in the absolute world. And on top of being this amazing cellar with vintages from like 1970, this man is the only man with the key, the absolute key to the most amazing room I've ever seen in my entire life. You want to see some really rare vintages, you should check this room out. Unbelievable.
Now, inside this little vault here houses some of the rarest wines in the absolute world. Now, this Biondisante is from 1955, all right? This wine was recognized by Wine Spectator as one of the 12 wines of the century, of the 20th century. It was the only Italian wine chosen. This retails for about $4,000 a bottle.
Certo.
Now, because he is the grandson of the founder, right, there are only a couple bottles of the original vintages left. Right, and they're right here. He has 6 bottles of 1891 wine. Can you show me this right here?
Sì.
Right, see, grazie. All right. All right, now this wine in particular right here. All right, this wine, there's only 6 bottles of it left, and he won't even let me hold it. All right, this wine, oh, he will let me hold it. Oh, my God. All right, there's only 6 bottles of it left in the absolute world, and it retails for $50,000 a bottle. I don't even want to touch it. Yeah. It's amazing. All right, and the absolute rarest wine in this collection. All right.
Ecco, questo è il colore, stupendo.
All right. This is his grandfather's first vintage, 1888. It's 113 years old at this point. All right, and this bottle of wine is only 2 in the world. All right, and it's priceless. Absolute priceless.
È stupendo.
Stupendous, my
È
friend.
stupendo il colore, la color.
The color.
Yes.
And it still has, and if you guys can see this in the light.
Wonderful.
All right, and it has a beautiful, beautiful color to it.
Sì, ruby rosato.
Ruby and rosy. It's still,
Sì.
still perfect. Unbelievable. Signor, thank you very much.
Grazie, buon lavoro,
Grazie.
bravissimo.
I want to get out here before I break something. You know when you go out and you have that last glass of wine? Anyway, I've just traveled an hour south of Montalcino to this great little farmhouse, and it's called Agriturismo, and it's a great alternative to a hotel if you're in Italy. And Italy is littered with these things. They're all over the place. And basically, it's a little farm that lets rooms. And they make olive oil, and they make wine. I don't want any more wine, but maybe a little peace and quiet would be nice, huh? I'm going to bed. So this is what a room looks like in an agriturismo. It's a farmhouse, so the accommodations aren't quite as luxe, but for $95 a night with breakfast and dinner included and a view of the Tuscan hills like that. What else you want?
If you stay in an agroturismo, there's always an opportunity to get your hands dirty.
This is Lorenzo. Hi, Lorenzo.
Hello.
He owns an agroturismo, and he also owns an olive grove at the top of the hill. He's dragged me out of bed to take me on an olive harvest. Is that right?
Yes, I'll show you everything.
On working farm, there's no such thing as a free ride. Isn't that right, Poochie?
Every October is olive picking season on Lorenzo's farm. A lot of the harvesting is done by hand, but to reach the olives at the top of the trees, Lorenzo uses this machine called El Picchio. Each tree produces just under a gallon of fresh olive oil.
So how long have you had this olive farm?
11 years.
11 years, really?
11 years.
That's a lot of olive oil, huh?
That's a lot of years, and we're still learning.
So it's a lot of work to really get a small amount of oil.
A lot of work to get a small amount of good oil. That's what we mustn't forget.
Only the best. That's right. Now, let me ask you a question, because generally people, I think they have a misconception about olives, right? Because they would think that you would get green olive oil out of a green olive, not a black olive.
No, the outside color of the olive depends on the type of tree.
Okay.
Some turn black and some stays green.
So there, I mean, obviously...
Don't ask me the reason, because I wouldn't know. You should try one. They are fresh olive.
They're good?
Yeah, fantastic. Fresh.
Yeah? I like,
Yeah.
if I had one fruit for the rest of my life, it would be an olive.
Olive oil.
Delicious, huh?
Right. No?
What are you doing, mate?
If you don't cure the olive, they taste horrible.
Ah! Ah! I need some water.
I told you.
I've been sucker punched. Oh, my God. Oh. Let's go make some oil. Ooh.
You can tell a good bottle of olive oil by how much acid it has. Extra virgin olive oil will always have an acid content of less than 1%, and the best oils have less than half of that.
Oh my God, look at that. Wow. Sir, this is the freshest olive oil in the world.
Buonissimo.
Bravissimo. Oh my God.
Olive oil may be essential to Italian cuisine, but my next destination of Emilia-Romagna favors butter. Bologna, the region's largest city, is considered by many to be Italy's gastronomic capital. Bologna, delicatessen capital of the world. Prosciutto, capricola, mortadella, salami. One step in the city and you realize why other Italians call it the Fat. Bologna is known as the Fat, not only because the locals love rich foods, but also because of their luxurious lifestyles. Even some of the vegetables in Bologna are a cut above the rest.
This is a tartufo bianco, or a white truffle. And it's actually a little subterranean fungus. It's like a little mushroom, and it's one of the most expensive food ingredients in the world. In New York City, this goes for about $80 to $100 for this little small nugget. But here at this food stand, it's only about $25, but I think they're a little nervous about me holding it, so I better give it back. They actually lock these up in a safe. Excuse.
Fresh pasta's deepest roots also lie in Bologna, and a few very famous dishes were invented here, including tagliatelle, lasagna, and this, tortellini, which is otherwise known as Venus's navel.
I'm here in the Chamber of Commerce in the heart of Bologna to prove a point. Bolognians are crazy about pasta, and it's so serious they even have this to measure by, the golden tagliatelle. Now, this tagliatelle is 8 millimeters wide, and that is the measure of standard. Any tagliatelle that's any wider than that or smaller than that, it's not tagliatelle, and they'll send it back. If you walk around Bologna and you ask anyone where to get the best pasta, they'll send you to one place, Las Foligno, and they'll send you to one person, Monica Venture, and she makes the best pasta in the entire city. So much so, she even won the coveted Golden Tortellini Award last year. What Monica's going to make for us today is a dish called pastatelli. It's a very traditional dish here in Bologna.
Pastatelli is an Italian dumpling made with breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, nutmeg, and fresh eggs.
Okay, so we got some really good eggs. Now look at, first, I want to see if I can show you how many, are you going to use all of these eggs for the recipe?
No, only 2.
Only 2. So real fast, I just want to show you this because I think when you come to northern Italy, especially Tuscany, and the reason the pasta is so beautiful because the eggs are so rich.
Yeah.
Take a look at this yolk, if you can. That is the most yellow yolk I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at that. It's almost orange. It's incredible. And that is the secret of really good pasta.
Mix the eggs into a mixture until it forms a firm but soft consistency.
The taste has to be the Parmesan, not the bread.
Not the bread, right,
Okay,
right.
this is perfect.
Okay, now this
With
is
your help?
Yeah, this is beautiful. Guys, take a look at this. It's important actually. But it's not hard like a rock, and it's not really mushy either. It's somewhere in between. It's, all right, squeeze this down like this.
The mixture is then put into a pastatelli press.
Okay, this is the cool part. It's kind of like Play-Doh when you're a kid, you know. All right, and the pastatelli. These little like worm-like guys come out of the extractor and they fall into the bowl and they also seem to clip off the same length. And it makes these little ribbon, these little threads. And you make these little noodles.
Okay.
Little dumplings.
Do like this.
Right.
Very simple.
And so you poach them, right?
Yeah.
All right. And this is
This is a chicken broth.
If you haven't made fresh
so
chicken
pastatelli
stock,
goes
then
into
prepared
the
broth
chicken.
from the supermarket will do.
All right, while Monica's cooking the pastatelli, let's talk about what we're going to serve it with. Now, traditionally, in Bologna, they really don't use that much olive oil. It's mostly butter, right?
Yeah,
Really,
we prefer butter.
really fresh and very rich butter. So we have a tomato sauce, right? It's very simplistic. It's just tomatoes, butter, salt, pepper, and a little bit of sugar to balance out the acidity, right? To make it nice and sweet. Okay, so all right, so we've got this beautiful sauce here, and the pastatelli's cooking. All right. So these things cook up pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
How long do they take?
Oh, a few seconds, I think.
Few
Because
seconds.
they come up and then you have to take them off.
So this is a really quick dish, right?
Yeah.
And you can smell the chicken broth.
It's fantastic.
It smells very good. Give it a good shake. All right, and these look really
Then you
very
put
cool.
them
All right.
here. Okay.
I'm dying to give one of these a taste. It smells amazing. That's incredible. You know, you get the richness from the egg yolk and the sharpness from the Parmesan cheese. And it's really, really tasty. It's very nice.
Okay. Right now you have to taste it with the sauce.
Okay. That's absolutely
This is
beautiful.
for you, some
Very nice.
basil. It's
Maybe a
very
little,
important.
a little bit of fresh basil on top.
Yeah.
Give it a little color. Another little taste sensation there. So you just add a little tomato sauce to it, give it a good stir. Maybe a little fresh cheese, or no? Mm-hmm. It's good?
This is for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Look at that, that's incredible. I mean, just very, very simplistic, you know? Incredible. Monica, that is fabulous.
With 22 miles of food arcades, Bologna is a gourmet's paradise. I'm leaving soon, but I've got just enough time to check out the famous Tamburini delicatessen.
Bologna is deli capital of the world. Basically, anything you've had in any other deli around the world originated here in this region. They have so many different dried meats. They have sausages and prosciutto di Parma, and they have salamis, and they have the sopressata. And actually, well, this is actually really a beautiful piece. Salami Felino, which is the classic salami from Bologna. May I try a small little piece of this?
Yes.
Salami Felino.
Ok, va bene signore.
He told me a very funny story that people come in here like travelers and they'll try the salami felino. They think felino means feline, which is salami of the cat, but no gatto, right?
No gatto.
That would be salami gatto.
Salami,
But
vero porco.
this is made out of fresh pork, but it's dried. That's incredible flavor. Peppery, really, really fatty, very rich. And then there's this funny guy right here, which is called a salami coglione di mulo, which is actually, it's a salami made out of pork, but it's in the fashion of a mule's private parts. I'll let you figure that one out by yourself, but that's really funny. You guys are funny the way you name your salamis. It's nice. Very funny. And then there's
Questo culatello.
culatello.
Questo è il re del culatello.
Okay, now the culatello is it's just from a certain portion of the prosciutto, the ham itself. It's the choice piece. So it's very expensive, and it takes 2 years to season and dry this thing. It's the best, right? Yeah, he was showing me this piece right here, right? Now this is a whole culatello, right? It's a whole certain portion of the prosciutto di Parma itself. And they'll season it, and they'll hang it up for 2 years. And actually this thing was full. It was fat in this rope when they hung it. But after 2 years, it starts to shrink and condense itself and lose its moisture, but it's really, really rich. There's the coppa ham, which is really good.
Questa coppa di Parma.
Grazie, grazie. This is really beautiful stuff. And people in this part of the world have spent a lifetime figuring out how to hang and dry meat. It's stunning. That's phenomenal. And you can't forget the king of cheese from this area, which is Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm driving out of Bologna on my way to Reggio Emilia to find out what this Parmesan cheese thing is all about. The closer you get, you can almost smell it in the air. Here, now, Giorgio's going to walk me through the whole process on how to make Parmigiano Reggiano.
Of the consortium.
This
I am
is-
the consortium of Parmigiano Reggiano.
The head man right here. Show me how to do this.
Parmigiano Reggiano, or as it's more commonly known, Parmesan cheese, has been around for 700 years. Although methods of making it have changed little since then, there is a thoroughly modern addition to this age-old practice, a robot that cleans the cheese. At around $300 a wheel, the cheese is considered valuable enough to store in bank vaults. In fact, in the past, it's had such a high currency that locals have even used it as a deposit on a house.
Spaghetti alla bolognese, risotto con funghi,
Tortellini.
tortellini. Oh my God.
Tortelli.
That's
Tastes good.
This tastes very good. You know, they keep the best cheese in this area for themselves. You really can't get this anywhere else. Phenomenal.
I'm now traveling back through Tuscany to the heart of Chianti, and just in time to celebrate another Tuscan favorite, meat. The Butchers' Festival in Panzano celebrates St. Tommaso Ballacci, the patron saint of butchers. Here, butchers from all over Italy gather together to cook up one huge free feast.
Here at the Butcher Festival, it's one of the prized pieces. It's called Lardo di Brescia. It's basically just a big slab of lard, but it's cured. It's cured with pepper and bay leaf and cinnamon and nutmeg. When you slice it paper thin, you eat it with bread. It's very, very good. Scusi. Prego. Un panna, por favore. Grazie, grazie. You slice it paper thin, right? It's amazing. Really, really good. Delicious. This right here, lingua, which is basically tongue, with a little bit of salsa verde on top. It's really nice also. Delicious. Check this out. I couldn't miss this stand. This is actually like London broil, and it's grilled, but it's a really, really beautiful part of the cow. What they're doing here is they're grilling it, and they're dipping it in a mixture of extra virgin olive oil, black pepper, salt, and lemon juice. It's really good. It's really, really fresh beef. It's nice. It's like butter. Oh, excuse me. Now, this is actually really, really interesting. This is sort of like a Tuscan head cheese. It's called Biroldo. And basically, it's a bit of tongue, a little bit of brain, a little bit of cinghiale, which is the jowl. First time ever. brains, tongue, and jowls all mixed together, nice little. That tastes like a salami thing. Right. Okay. Grazie. All right, so what's in this ingredients?
Meat, red meat, carne rossa,
Red meat. Right.
carne rossa,
Yeah, red lean. Okay.
sale,
Salt.
salt, prezzemolo,
Parsley.
parsley,
Right.
ecco,
Right.
olio,
Oil.
oil,
Oil. Right. What is it?
aromi naturali.
Aromi tamale. What is that?
Where is?
Romeo.
Aromi?
Right.
Well, what is aromi?
Aromi. Herbs, right? Herbs.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I've just left the Butcher's Festival, and on my way, I've adopted some fairly unruly Italians who have willingly accepted my food and payment for using their kitchens. We're gonna make some braised rabbit. Sounds delicious, right? Then we're gonna make caramelized radicchio with a little salsa verde. It's gonna be fantastic. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these little pieces of rabbit, and they're cut about the size of a chicken thigh. I'm gonna dredge them in the seasoned flour mix to make sure I get them well coated and they taste good. All right, and this flour right here, all right, has a little bit of fresh thyme, a little bit of dried oregano, and a fair amount of salt and pepper, because I want to give it some flavor. If you like chicken better than you like rabbit, chicken also works really, really well for this particular dish.
Rabbit is a very popular dish in Tuscany, and after a day of eating red meat, it's a welcomed alternative.
So now I could just chuck this rabbit in some hot oil and saute it, but you're not really maximizing your taste. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of different levels here. I'm going to add a couple of chilies for a little bit of heat, because I love that. And then I'm going to snip a little wild rosemary here. One thing about Tuscany, there's all these little herbs you think they're so fancy, they cost about $3 for a tiny little box. This stuff goes wild on the side of the road, and it's amazing because it completely perfumes the whole air. Fresh rosemary is incredible.
The base flavor for the rabbit will be garlic, rosemary, and chili.
All right, what do I want to do? All right, I'm going to take the majority of this stuff out for the time being, because I just want to infuse my flavor with my oil. Okay. All right, now it's time for the rabbit. I could probably get maybe 6 pieces of rabbit in here at a time, so I'll probably do this maybe 3 or 4 times.
To turn it golden brown, cook the rabbit for around 7 to 10 minutes on each side.
When we've got all the rabbit pieces nice and brown, all right, the next thing I'm going to do is start to pile them up in the same pot. But again, I'm going to start layering my flavors down. All right, just like that. And put my second layer of rabbit right on top of that. So the flavors are sort of sandwiched in between the two. All right, chuck the whole thing in like that. I'm going to take a few more whole giant pieces of garlic, just like that. All right, then go right on top. All right, go back to my wild rosemary bush. All right, clip off a couple pieces here. Strip a few leaves all the way through. All right, so that rosemary flavor really penetrates the rabbit once we start to braise it. Then some black olives. I'm just going to add a nice little salty bite. All right, a nice little bottle of white wine.
Thankfully, wine is never hard to come by in Tuscany, so throw a whole bottle in. And then some chicken stock. The rabbit is now ready to braise.
Now, what I mean by braise, it's not really a tricky sort of term. It just means to cook in a small amount of liquid in the oven. All right, half an hour. All right, that's going to be spectacular. It smells fantastico.
Next, it's caramelized radicchio.
We get a big, fat, flat saute pan. All right, it's going to go on the fire. A little bit of olive oil. All right, I'm going to cook this slow. It's going to take about 10 minutes or so to start to really caramelize into the oil. And here you start to sizzle. All right.
Radicchio is a form of chicory.
All right, while the radicchio is cooking, let's talk about what I'm going to serve this with. Now, throughout Tuscany, they have this little accompaniment, this little condiment. It's called salsa verde. And basically, it's like an American pesto, but the difference here is it's parsley, not basil. All right, and the recipe is really, really simple. It's parsley, caper, anchovy, lemon juice, and a lot of olive oil. And it's very simple. You just chuck everything into a blender, pulse it down a couple times, and you get this beautiful, beautiful thick puree. It's gorgeous. Look at that.
And that's it. Braised rabbit and caramelized radicchio, Tuscan style. Now I just hope they enjoy it. For a country that exports its food all around the world, dining in Italy is a surprisingly different experience. Eating well here isn't the preserve of the rich. The best is available for everybody. To sit at dinner with Italians is to truly understand what passion is all about.
What an amazing way to end my trip in Italy, my last night in Tuscany. And from the delicatessens of Bologna to the beautiful Brunello wine and Montalcino to my new Italian friends actually liking my Italian food. This has been an incredible trip. And guys, what an unbelievable way to say goodbye, huh? Ciao, grazie, grazie, prego, grazie. Wow, what an unbelievable trip through Italy. I just can't believe it's over. I'm sitting here reeling in the whole thing. I mean, a couple things off the top of my head that really stick out. I mean, what about watching olive oil from the tree to the bottle? I mean, it's such a fascinating process. And then Lorenzo sucker punching me with that fresh olive. I'll never do that again. And what about the fresh Parmesan cheese and Parmigiano Reggiano and Emilia-Romagna? It was unbelievable. I mean, to watch those big wheels get cracked open like that, it's so fascinating. And then we can't forget the Brunello wine, Montalcino, and that $50,000 bottle of wine I held in my hand. God, I thought I was going to break the thing. So I'm just sitting here waiting for my cab. I got a couple minutes to kill, and I'm just going to try to figure out how to get all this wine back to customs. I think I overdid it a little bit.